Hello everyone, welcome to the Sprint3 retrospective of Team Rush Hour. So in this video, we are going to conduct the retrospective for Sprint3. So this is Ratan. I'm the team leader, Scrum Master, and the full stack developer for the team.
Hi, this is Pranay, and I'm the lead AML engineer for the team.
Hi, this is Murli and I am AML engineer and tester.
Hi, this is Uday. I am AML engineer cum tester.
My name is Sujit Supravatupki. I will be working as a full stack tester and quality assurance manager.
Hi, this is Kaundinya Pedapati and I was working as a full stack developer of the team.
Hi, this is Anush Manchala. I'm working as a full stack developer and UX designer of our team.
Hi, this is Saira Madula. I'm full stack testing engineer.
So we have completed three sprints for this particular project Uspark. So we have few improvements which I have been doing as this project has been completed so far, and also we have discussed what went well, what did not go well, and the action items which are needed to be considered for the previous sprint. So we'll be doing the same in this particular sprint as well. So guys, you know the drill, like how to put the points. So you can put like what went well, what did not go well. Later on, we can discuss about the action items. So we can start putting up the points. And you can also give the likes and dislikes for the what went well and what did not go well. Yes, you can go ahead and put like what did not go well as well, like what you felt did not go well in this particular sprint. You guys can just tell me when you guys are done, we can have the discussion. So are we guys done? Like, can we go through the discussion?
Yeah.
Yes, Ratan.
Yeah, so we'll start off with what went well. So yeah, see the availability functionality for the doctors and the patients. Like putting up the meet option and everything went well. So KP feels the same. So actually, we like the full stack group particularly worked on the appointment part and making the entire UI of the appointment part and the doctor's part integration, everything to look seamless and easy on the eye. So we were working on that. So I want to hear the opinion of our ML group regarding this, how the appointment system and everything worked in this particular sprint. Pranay, can you give a few insights about this?
Yeah. Um, one minute. So coming to the availability, like normally it was not included in ML because like it's completely ML, it's related to chatbot and everything. But according to like what I saw in the presentations and the demo, the availability one was actually good. Like it gave doctors a feasibility and like flexibility to actually like select the time that they want and everything. And the Google Meet one was actually a good option because like Zoom it requires some enterprise options, so we need to pay for that. And Google Meet was a free option for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps. Actually, that helps the patients also very much well, so they can connect directly through online, like rather meeting in them in person. So I think that's a good thing to hear actually.
Yeah. So integration of full stack and machine learning. So uh, like one thing I can say that is like the ML guys have worked predominantly well because they were able to give the chatbot and the in particular the USEC medical assistant. So we were able to get some good outputs from those, and we worked on the integration part as well. So Avinash and I worked on the chatbot and the USEC application, and KP looked over the entire integration part. So Avinash, would you like to add something about how we were able to integrate these two parts? So we were majorly focusing on that in this particular sprint, right? So can you say a few words about that?
Yes, at first it's a little bit hard because the segmented output was not came properly and I faced some issues with the API calls as well. But later on I took help from Pranay. He told some basics T4 configuration is well for this image segmentation. So I tried that one and it worked out very well. Yeah.
And like Uday mentions that on-time delivery of the stories, like the story points were completed on time. So like I do feel like in the previous sprint we were lagging with few story points based on how we weren't able to estimate the depth of the particular user stories and the features that are related to it. But in this particular Sprint 3, we were able to complete our estimated story points as well. So, Sujit, you want to add something on this? Like you have seen the burn down charts and everything, right? So you have a pretty good idea about how we are lagging in the previous sprint and how we've coped up with this particular sprint.
Yeah, so previously we took a very long break because of spring break. So we were lagging over there. We were not able to complete all the story points. But this time we communicated well and all the story points were completed on time.
Yeah. And so, like, we were good in this particular sprint, but Sai feels like we are doing the communication and the updates regarding the project. So I feel that communication is a good and an important part in this project because we are a team of 8 members and we need a little bit of communication and everything to make sure that things are in sync with each other separate because we have two separate groups in our team as well. So that's a good thing to listen as well. And coming to the entire final product, so Sai, you have seen the entire final product, right? So, like, do you want to give your opinion on it? Like, was it real? Was it near to the imagination of yours? Like, we would have started with a particular image in our mind, right? So, starting from
Yeah.
zero. So, how do you feel?
Initially, I thought it would be difficult, like doing the full product. Yeah, by the coming of the last sprint, yeah, it was a great experience of learning new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And KP, I would like to ask you a small question like that because we have like Avinash and I have worked on the integration part, right? Like the chatbot and the USEC. But ultimately, we need to put them into a particular structure so that it sits well into the entire application. So you are working on the entire, what do I say, entire the skeleton of the application, if I can say, because the entire structure and the shape of the application needs to look good, even though if the features are well developed in the application. So how good or how difficult was it to actually bring everything into a proper structure for the application?
Yeah, it's actually pretty much the same thing which I've learned like throughout the course and throughout the system. Firstly, like the creating upon the skeletons of the code, like the file structure, the architecture, like how we can actually develop and everything. So it's actually little bit tricky, like hard when it comes to like organize everything in a right way so that the future developers who wants to join or who wants to collaborate with the team, so they can actually understand like basic setup if we have. Because if we write everything like in the mismatched way, then it would be like so hard to them to understand and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we'll move on to what did not actually go well. So it's good to see we have actually got only 2 points or two perspectives of what did not go well. That's actually an improvement comparing to previous sprints. So Murli feels like few tasks were taking longer time than estimated due to the complexity. So Murli, could you elaborate on this a little bit?
Actually, that's because of like few tasks like completed. We delayed the work. Like we're supposed to complete in a week. It took like more than a week. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like everything is completed well beyond the time. That's a good thing actually. I just put for the only those few weeks actually.
few story points or
Yeah,
few tasks which were
yeah.
delayed.
Yeah, and
Apart
also
from that,
agree with
everything
that,
is completed
Ratan.
pretty much front actually.
Like
Yeah.
we have faced the issue, right? Like while integrating the
Mm-hmm.
metric, especially like I know Aynash has faced issue with integrating S3 buckets, and due to some issues, like there was some delays, right? We
Yeah.
thought that was like a simple task of just integrating the API, but we had to go through formatting issues and everything.
Yes. Yeah, that
Yes,
was
yes. I'm also
literally.
agreeing with Pranay.
Yeah, like we were working on the chatbot and use it because like we have majorly completed of all the features in our previous sprints, but the one thing that was lagging and one thing that was which is also most important for application is the integration part, because we were with the motive to make an application that essentially integrates the ML and the full stack of and full stack parts of the application. So I think that fell in place at the last point of our sprint. So that's good. But now the styling part of the application needs to be more focused. So like I can say like the entire application looks good, but again thinking of from the start where we have started from the scratch and seeing now it's like it's in a good shape. But yeah, there there are few parts of the application where it's a little bit sketchy because yeah, few of the flex issues are there in the front end part of the applications. We can work on that, but still I feel it's relatively good. But KP has other opinions, I see.
Yeah, so basically like with respect to UI only, you can actually gain more like sellers or like more people into our platform. And
Yeah.
firstly like the look needs to be like more perfect when you see like most of the applications, and also like the functionality is also matters. But yeah, so but yeah, we have done very pretty well from the initial stage, but we need to more focused on next time.
Yeah. So, like Avinash, you have done the UI UX design, right? So the initial UI UX design. So, we have landed upon a similar kind of a design, not exactly the same, but a similar kind of a design. So, are you satisfied with the entire output and the design at the end of the product?
Yes, Ratan, the design was pretty good, and when it comes compared from the scratch to now, the design was so much developed, and everything was on polish, in my opinion, because it's pretty good to see, and the features also works very well. Yeah, I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, and so like we full stack guys know how we are designing the entire application, like from the starting to ending. So I would like to listen from like say Murli, Uday or Pranay, because you guys have worked from the ML side, right? So you are not quite evident about how we were going through the different stages of how the UI of the application looks. So do you feel it's good, or haven't we done a good job or something?
Yeah, it's actually pretty much good. Actually, after completion of I think sprint one or sprint two, when we compare to that, it's actually pretty much very good actually
Yeah.
when it comes to UA part. And the first one is not organized actually before the sprint, and for
Mm.
by the end of the sprint, everything is organized actually.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
Pranay, you
I
want to
also
add
agree
something?
with them
Yeah,
because
the
like I
user
worked
experience
with
is pretty much good. Yeah, just go,
okay,
Pranay.
sorry, Uday. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
the
worked
user
with
experience is
So
sorry,
Uday,
okay,
continue.
Uday, you
okay.
can go through. Uday, you can go through.
Yeah, yeah, nothing, nothing. Like user experience is pretty much good. That's what it makes the users more engaging. And I like our product because our user experience and the screen presence is very good. I like that, Ratan. Yeah.
Yeah, and Pranay, you want to add something?
Yeah, sorry for that. And actually, I worked with Avinash, right, for UI UX design.
Yeah.
So the end product compared to the first initial design was like completely different because the first one was like more colorful and everything. It felt good, but by the final, like by the end of sprint 2, it felt like a little like just a skeletal framework kind of thing. I was like, there's no color, and by the end of the sprint 3, it turned out good actually. The
Mhm.
colors are like minimal, like white and blue, just as a doctor would prefer or like a patient would prefer.
Yeah.
It looks professional, but like what we had designed when we were designing like UI UX, it was more like colorful and cheerful everything. Like, but now it turned out to be professional and like it was good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, guys, like I know this is the final sprint, and we have completed all the story points, but I would like you guys to put some action items, though we might not put them into action, but they might be useful for us in the near future. So, if you guys have any action items, we can add them here as well. So, yeah, feel free to add few action items as well. Just you can tell me when you guys are done.
I think it's done right. No
Yeah,
one's adding
so
anything.
few of the action items I see is like improvement of the UI from the user's point of view. Yeah, we have had a elaborate discussion about that. So, like the UI thing is quite like it can be debated because no matter how many advancements do or how many modifications we do to the UI, some users feel it's very good and some users feel it's not so good. So it's a debatable topic. So we can have a like varied opinions about that. So that's about the UI part. And coming to the adding more diseases segmentation to usage. So yes, we when I and Avinash were working together on the integration of these particular things to our full stack side of the application, we tested out few images that have been not used for the training purposes of the algorithm as well. So it performs a good job in those images as well. But yeah, but still further training is required if you are to be using those algorithms for segmentation of few more diseases. So that's a thing. So Pranay, would you like to add something on this, like adding up new diseases segmentations to use it?
Yeah, like if we get enough data, we can actually make use it to diagnose more diseases compared to what we did now. Since
Yeah.
it's like for the final product, we did only like on 3, 4 diseases or the
Mm.
3, 4 like tumors and everything. But we also had a feature where it can detect any anomaly in the picture.
Yeah. So like the action items are pretty good, but like to wind off the meeting, like I would like to ask one small thing from everyone is that so because like Yeah, I know the project is complete and everything is complete. So, but there's a future scope for this project as well, right? So, I see like KB mentioned one point and Avinash mentioned like one point. These are ultimately related to the future scope of the application, right? So, I want you guys to think about it and say one point in which you can scale up the application to a little bit more. Like I'll start off with KP. Anyways, he has put in a point like providing UHIL and USEC total. Well, meanwhile, you can have a thought about it and say out a point where you can download the application so that it can be pretty much very useful more than this in the future. So KP, can you start off like with your point? Just give me just a brief of like explanation for 30 seconds or so, like just how
Yeah,
we can update our application which can be useful for the future as well.
yeah. So right now, like providing like UHEL and USIG, like we actually created this application in such a way that when a user is logged in, then only like we can actually have a option to test the UHIL or use it. But most of the chatbot applications, they can actually have a conversation, not even the user is logged in. Or the chatbot can also do some other tasks like basic stuff of like what we actually doing. Like currently, it's actually with respect to the doctor, like having conversation, getting the insights from, and then providing some basic update on the health and everything. But the chatbot, we can make it as for the entire application. Like when you search something like about contact information of our uh, UHIL platform or like completely Uspark platform, like if it wants, like it can actually can respond back. So all these functionalities we can provide them, and once the user is logged in, then we can provide more details based upon health. So yeah.
Okay, so we can essentially make the our chatbot profile free. So if an user, it's not mandatory that a user has a profile in our application so that they can use this UHIL, but we can provide UHIL as a service to the users so that even if they don't have any profile, but they can use it for few preliminary services. Once the user has those profile and everything details logged in, so we can actually improve the services more. That's it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like that we can actually, there's a scope to work on that as well. So yeah, that's a good thing. So Avinash, like you put in a point, right? Adding more disease for segmentation in users. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Um, Actually, when we tested, it segmented out very perfectly. But if we add some more diseases, like in my opinion, the complete whole body,
Yeah,
if our usage will segment those from the entire body scope, maybe it will be used for the industrial purpose.
yeah,
Because I think there is no another bot in the, I mean, there is no another bot in the industry
market.
right now.
Yeah,
Maybe some are there, but complete segmentation bot will be the one we can use in the industrial level. So if we add this one in industrial level, maybe it will work. That's
yeah,
why I put like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because these medical AI assistants have a like good use in the medical sector as well. So if we can make something improvements to this so that the algorithm is robust enough to detect the particular body part and segment it accordingly, then it's a good thing. So we can actually use this particular idea as well. So and next, Murli, like, would you want to add anything to this? Like any updates or any?
Actually, both KP and Avinash covered pretty much everything actually.
Yeah,
Like what like KP code, like what we have, what we can do, like how the user will be more happy, like where he can access without login and everything. And Avinash also covered like if we added more diseases and everything to the chatbot, it will be very much helpful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pranay, would you like to add something? Like any future scope or any developments you want to make to the application?
Yeah, what KP said, I agree with him because like we just don't want to keep USEC and UHIL just for within the company or something.
Hmm.
We can actually provide it as a free service or like a like a free tier.
Open
Like you
source.
can use, yeah, you can use it for 2 or 3 times because like USEC it requires processing power,
Hmm.
so they can use that. And UHIL we can like use it, give it for a free, like the initial assessment everything.
Yeah.
Since we didn't want to keep anything, like medical data, it's like mostly protected, so we didn't want
Hmm.
to keep the data out,
Hmm. Yeah.
but we can do it as a temporary one. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And Sai, you want to add something? Any further improvements or developments you want to make?
Yeah, same like Avinash said, like we can add more disease segmentation to the user.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Uday, you want to say something?
Yeah, actually, the chatbot experience, we have to improve the more chatbot experience so that the users like patients or the doctors may may talk to the chatbot very easily, and we
Mm,
can what Avnesh said is very right because by adding different more diffuse by adding the more diffuse chatbot can effectively give the results.
mm.
Yes.
Yeah, and Sujit, you want to add something? Any developments or future scope for the applications?
Um, no, I think the KPI is a very good point. That we should provide the UHIL and USEC to the outer world as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the two things which we have as our action items are our future scope as well. So we can provide it like a service, our UHIL and USEG as well, and also making the USEG more robust so that more diseases can be identified through that. So these are the few improvements we can make. As I see, we have made a good application to the final end of our sprint. So there are few things which we can work on and we can improve upon, which can be considered as a future scope of the application. So that's a good thing as well. We have like improved the extent up to which our application is scaled up to. So that's a good thing. And yeah, guys. So like you can tell a few words about your experience throughout this particular project. So if anybody is volunteering to, if you want to say something like few words about your experience, you can say, and we can wind up the call.
Actually, thank you to everyone. Like, we learned a lot of things regarding full stack, ML part, everything,
Yeah.
and it's a great experience. Like working as a team and knowing like each other's perspective and learning about how one is thinking and like that something. And that's a great experience actually. Thank you all
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Anybody else? Something?
Firstly, like thanks everyone. Thanks Ratan, like being like Scrum Master and doing every work.
Yeah.
And thanks Pranay for like ML and AI stuff, and not only Murli and everyone. And Avinash for like the best UI which you came up, and yeah. And Sudhir, thanks for like noting down like what the issues which we are facing, and letting us know. And thanks Uday for like the testing part and ML part. And same as Sairam, like he worked for the testing and everything. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thank you. And
I would also like to thank everyone.
yeah.
This team is very friendly. This team is wonderful. There's no team like this. You guys are very helpful. Trust me. Amazing
Yeah,
people.
Sujit. Yeah,
Amazing
Sujit.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So does anybody wants to add something more, or else we can?
Nothing. Thank you, everyone. That's
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I would like to say that God bless you all.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Sujit.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
May our project go to real world and
Yeah.
gets appreciation for that.
Yeah. So like I'll just conclude up with this. So like thank you everyone. So firstly I've learned many things from this working within this team. So coming to the full stack side, like working in close coordination with KPI, like I understood how to actually build in a industrial level standard code and everything, and working in close coordination with Avinash and everyone. So it's like more like a learning curve. We were discussing lots of things. We were doing things in our own way. We were learning about our mistakes, and we were doing things in the proper way after that. So it's a big learning curve for us and also for everybody, I believe. And with the ML guys as well. So Pranay, he was also helping us with everything. So he was very open and explaining everyone about how to do things in the proper way. And he's uh, like told many things about how to integrate the ML bot and how to deploy those things and everything. So that the technical parts of it and also the moral part of it as well. He's been helpful for us, and thank you for that as well. And all the rest of the guys, you have done your part very well. You are open and you are also bearing with me because sometimes like the meetings, everything might be a little bit tedious at the end of the day, but you are open enough and were always understanding how the situations were. And thank you everyone for that as well. And hope in the near future we can like we can get into a good shape with our careers and everything. Yeah. So thank you and all the best for everyone.
Thank you, Ratan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ratan.
Thank you.